Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're digging into something really universal, how we handle challenges.
Yeah, it's something everyone faces.
We got some great material from you all pointing us towards Kenton Patterson's Future Tech Wise blog, specifically his thoughts on, using a positive mindset when things get tough.
Right? Patterson's work, it's quite practical, actually.
So our mission today is to really pull out the key insights. How can this positive outlook actually build resilience, boost creativity, help us grow?
And lead to success. Ultimately, that's the core idea.
Exactly. So if you're maybe wrestling with a work problem or personal growth or just want a better way to deal with, well, life, this is for you.
Absolutely. And what's key about Patterson's view, I think, is that it's not about wearing rose-tinted glasses.
Right, not just blind optimism.
No, it's about how you choose to see things. It's about reframing, not denying problems exist, but changing how you respond to them.
Okay, let's dive straight into that core idea then. Patterson talks about that gut reaction to setbacks.
Uh-huh. The why me trap.
Yeah, that one. He says we should try to switch that to, okay, what can I learn here?
It sounds simple, but that shift is huge.
How so? What's the real power there?
Well, it moves you from feeling like a victim, sort of passive, to being active.
Ah, okay.
The why me keeps you stuck, focusing on the problem. But asking, what can I learn, makes you a problem solver instantly. You're looking for the opportunity within the difficulty.
And Patterson connects this to energy too, right? Not just thinking differently, but feeling different.
Exactly. It creates momentum. You shift your energy from like being bogged down to actually having a way forward, even a small step.
He also brings in his observations from the tech scene in New Zealand.
Right, yeah. You notice how much optimism fuels progress there.
That's interesting. How does that connection work, especially for innovation?
Well, think about innovation. It's
Yeah.
messy, full of trial and error.
Lots of dead ends, I imagine.
For sure.
Sure.
So in that environment, believing solutions are possible, seeing failures is just data points. That positive outlook is, well, it's essential. It keeps things moving.
So it's not just a nice-to-have mindset, it actually drives results.
Precisely. Patterson saw it directly in tech. But that principle applies anywhere, really. Personal projects, career goals, anything where you face hurdles.
Okay, so it's less about being born an optimist and more like a skill, something you can actually practice and get better at.
Exactly that. And he gives us 5 pretty concrete ways to cultivate it.
Let's break those down. What's the first one?
Daily gratitude.
Gratitude. Okay, some people might hear that and think it's a bit fluffy.
Maybe. But Patterson frames it very practically. He suggests consciously noting things you appreciate each day.
Even small things, like sunshine or a kind word.
Especially the small things. He argues it grounds you in the present. It shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have.
From scarcity to abundance, as he puts it.
Right. Our brains naturally look for threats, for the negative. Gratitude practice is like actively training your brain to see the good stuff.
And that helps build up a reserve for when things do go wrong.
Exactly. It boosts your mood, your coping ability. And he suggests practical things, like a gratitude journal.
Or even just telling someone, right? Family or friends.
Just making it a conscious act.
Okay, strategy number 2. Challenging negative thoughts. I think everyone knows that voice.
Oh, yeah. The I'm not good enough or I always mess this up track.
So what's Patterson's advice for dealing with that inner critic?
It's a 2-step process, really. First, you got to notice the thought. Become aware of it.
Just catch it happening.
Yeah. Then you question it critically. Ask yourself, like Patterson suggests, is this really true?
What's the evidence?
Exactly. Often those thoughts are just assumptions, or old patterns that don't fit anymore.
And it's not just about spotting them, but actively changing them, reframing.
Yes, that's the crucial part. You give that example. Changing, I can't do this, to something like, okay, I'm still learning this and that's fine.
So it connects to that idea of a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset.
Precisely. I can't is fixed, it's a dead end. I'm learning, acknowledges the difficulty, but keeps the door open for improvement. You're rewriting the story you tell yourself about the challenge.
Okay, number 3 is visualizing success. This one can feel a bit abstract for some.
It can seem that way, but Patterson argues it's a really practical tool, not just for athletes.
Right. How does it work? What's the benefit?
When you vividly imagine achieving something, you're essentially priming your brain for it, creating a mental map.
Like a rehearsal.
Kinda, yeah. It can strengthen the neural pathways linked to that success,
Hmm.
boosts motivation, builds confidence. It can even help you anticipate problems and think through solutions beforehand.
So it's more proactive than just wishful thinking.
Definitely. He mentions things like making a vision board or just mentally picturing it, really feeling the success.
Maybe get sensory.
Exactly. The more vivid, the better. Does it look like, sound like, feel like? That mental image becomes a powerful anchor, especially when you hit bumps in the road. Reminds you what you're aiming for.
Makes sense. Okay, the fourth strategy Patterson highlights is about the people around you.
Right. Surround yourself with uplifting people.
Seems obvious, maybe, but he really stresses the environment's impact.
It's huge. Attitudes are contagious, right?
Hmm.
Both positive and negatives.
Yeah, you can feel that.
So being around supportive people, people with that growth mindset we talked about, it creates this positive feedback loop. They encourage you, believe in you, help you see possibilities.
And the opposite is also true. Negative environments can really drag you down.
Totally. They erode your confidence, reinforce those limiting beliefs we were just talking about, challenging.
And Patterson mentions this applies both online and offline. Mentors, friends, communities.
Absolutely. He even mentions his own future TechWise community as an example.
Yeah.
Your support network isn't just who you see face-to-face anymore.
True.
Online groups, mentors offering guidance, friends giving that emotional backup. It's about actively curating your social world to support a positive, growth-focused outlook.
Okay, and the fifth and final strategy,
Adopting a growth mindset.
which feels like it underpins everything else we've discussed.
It really does. It's the fundamental shift in perspective. Seeing everything, successes, failures, challenges, as a chance to learn and get better.
Not just pass fail.
Exactly. Mistakes aren't like defining moments of failure. They're refining experiences, data points for improvement.
Patterson suggests asking specific questions when things go wrong, doesn't
Yes, really practical ones. What did I learn here? How can I do better next time? Okay, what's the next step?
it? It puts you back in the driver's seat even when you've stumbled.
Precisely. Those questions shift your focus immediately from what went wrong to what comes next. It builds that sense of agency, that feeling of control, which is the bedrock of resilience. You train yourself to see challenges as part of the journey, not the end of the road.
So, pulling it all together, Patterson uses that analogy of mindset as a compass,
Yeah, I like that one. Guiding you either towards fear and feeling limited.
or towards courage and clarity.
Right. And he also stresses, importantly, that you're not alone in this.
That's a key message.
Yeah. Building this mindset isn't just about solitary effort. It often means reaching out, connecting, getting support. His final thought ties it all together nicely, aiming for a future that's not just tech-wise, but heart-wise too.
That's a great way to put it. Our inner state matters just as much as external progress.
Absolutely.
So for everyone listening, especially those of you focused on learning quickly and applying knowledge without getting overwhelmed, Patterson offers a really solid toolkit here.
Definitely practical.
These 5 strategies: gratitude, challenging negativity, visualizing success, choosing your circle, and embracing that growth mindset. They're all actionable steps.
Things you can actually do.
Right. To build that mental resilience and drive your own growth. The big takeaway: a positive mindset isn't about ignoring reality. It's actually a strategic advantage.
Well said. And maybe a final thought to leave people with, building on Patterson's link between this mindset and innovation.
Go for it.
Think about a challenge in your own work or your life that feels, well, insurmountable right now. What might happen if you deliberately applied these principles? Could shifting your perspective actually make that impossible problem solvable?
That's a powerful question. Could a change in mindset unlock a new solution, maybe one you haven't even considered?
Exactly. Something to really mull over. Maybe that shift is the key.